Hi, I'm Jude from headfi.org. This is Headfi TV episode 5. Today's a Q&A episode. We're going to answer questions that we've received in the forums, via email, the YouTube comments, and private messaging. So let's get right to it. In episode 2, we talked about this, the Practical Devices XM6, and a question came in asking, if you're not going to use all the features, do you think it's still worth it? And my answer to that question is absolutely. Even minus all the features, on sound alone, it's worth it to me. And again, I like the fact that you can customize the sound to get where you want to be in terms of your preferences. The features are just bonus, and I do use them, but I don't use all of them. And again, I do think it's worth it even without using all the features. I use crossfeed. I use the bass boost for my Sennheiser HD800s and the gain boost for my harder to drive headphones, and I love the media control wheel that I went over in episode 2. So yes, I do think it's worth it. The next question, is the headphone in the background a Shure SRH940, and are you going to review it? Yes, mystery solved. I know that I've been a bit evasive about it. This is the Shure SRH940, but I'm probably not going to say a lot about it until it's closer to actual release in the stores. So yeah, we'll be talking about the Shure SRH940. This is the mystery headphone. Mystery solved. Next question. We've received several questions about producing Headfi TV. And the first one is, what kind of software are you using to assemble and edit Headfi TV? We currently use Apple's iMovie, but we're going to be upgrading for the better workflow and better abilities to the new version of Apple Final Cut Pro when that comes out in June. So that's the software we're using now. We're using iMovie, but we'll be going to Final Cut Pro when it's out. And then also, what kind of camera are you using for Headfi TV, and what kind of microphones? Well, let's answer the camera question first. In episodes 1 and 2, we used this. This belongs to Joe. It's a classic. It's a Canon XL1, and it records to mini DV, which is a digital tape format. Am I correct in that?
Yes.
Okay, so it's so this is the Canon XL1. We use this in episodes 1 and 2. Now, for episodes 3 and beyond, we upgraded to a Panasonic Lumix GH2. It's a camera that's pretty much universally praised, at least in the reviews I've read, for its video abilities. It also has input for external microphones, which is very important to us, and that's what we're using now. As for sound now, because you asked about microphones, what were we using? In episode 1 and 2, we used the built-in microphone on the XL1. But in beginning with episode 3, and then for episode 3 and 4, we used this. This is the HHB flash mic. It's distributed by Sennheiser USA, and it's a professional microphone with a studio quality flash recorder attached to it. So we would take the audio from this and then sync it with the video from the Lumix GH2. And we only wanted to do that as long as it took for our new microphone system to arrive, and it did, which we're starting to use with this episode for the first time. We ordered this. It's a new Sennheiser EW100 ENG wireless microphone kit. Now, I don't think it's in frame, but there is a lapel microphone attached to my shirt, and it's attached to a wireless transmitter. So we have a full-on wireless microphone system, and we have some other mics that we're going to try with that wireless microphone system. So those are the cameras and microphones we've used so far in making Headfi TV. The next question, are you going to do more beginner-friendly videos? Yes, we are. I've received some questions about certain terms we use, certain terminology, terms familiar to veteran headfiers like DAC, digital analog converter, but a lot of people don't yet know what we're talking about when we say these things. So for beginner headfiers who aren't as well versed in some of these audio terms that veteran headfiers know, we will be doing something called Headfi 101. We'll be doing segments within videos and occasionally Headfi 101 full episodes where we, again, go over some beginner-type topics. So yeah, we'll be doing more beginner-friendly videos soon. In episode 3, we talked about the Cypher Labs Algorithm Solo, and a lot of questions have come in about it, and we're going to answer a few of them here. The first one is, does the Algorithm Solo have any competitors? And the answer to that question is both yes and no. So if you're asking, are there other devices that take digital from an iDevice and also have built-in DAC functionality? The answer is yes, there are devices like that. This is one of them, probably the most prominent among them. It's the HRT iStreamer. It's still in the box because I just received it, but we'll be talking about it in a future episode. I believe Peachtree Audio also makes devices that do that. But the no part of the answer comes in when you ask, are any of them portable? And the answer to that question, to the best of my knowledge anyway, no, there are no portable competitors to the Cipher Labs algorithm Solo. The next question is, can I use a rock-boxed iPod with the algorithm Solo? The simple answer is no, you cannot. You cannot use a rock-boxed iPod with a Solo. Will the algorithm Solo accept USB input from a computer and act as a USB DAC? Again, the simple answer is no, it will not. It will only accept input from an iDevice. Next question, how do you get your more extreme-looking portable rigs like this one through airport security? All right, first of all, a disclaimer. I cannot guarantee that you'll have no problems trying to get this through airport security. I will only say that I've not had any problems getting this or rigs like this through airport security. I once had to play the rig at airport security so that they could see that it indeed does play music. So one recommendation I have, and again, it's worked for me, I don't know that it will for you, is to keep your rig intact. So I keep all the cables hooked up so that if they ask to hear music, which again, I have been asked to do once, you can plug the headphones in and show that it plays music, so you can confirm what it is. I also describe it when they say, what is all that? I usually say it's like a portable studio monitoring system. They seem to understand that when you plug the headphones in. And then the reason I keep the cables intact, again, so that they can hear it, and then while they're listening to it, if they want me to confirm that unplugging a cable will make the music stop, you can do that really easily. I haven't been asked to do that yet, but that's one of the reasons I keep it all together. Now, also in episode 3, I held up my Audeze LCD2. I actually own 2 of these, and the question was asked a few times, what kind of headphone cable was attached to the Audeze LCD2? I want to focus on this end of it because this is the ALO Audio Universal Headphone Cable. Now, it's called the Universal Headphone Cable because it does this. It's actually terminated in a mini 4-pin XLR. And to that, you can attach different tips. So I had the 1/4-inch plug. Here's a mini plug. And a dual 3-pin XLR for balanced use. And I also have the balanced plug for use with the protector in the SR71B. And this allows you to change all those tips out without having to change the whole cable. And I also have for my other LCD2 a cable by Moon Audio, similarly configured. It's a Silver Dragon that also has the adapter system attached. And I will be covering these types of headphone cables in a future episode. Beginning with episode 3, we started using music at the intro and outro of the episodes. And the questions continue to come in about what the name of the track is, who the artist was, and can that track be purchased. And the artist is Twist, spelled T-W-I-S 7. And the song, or the track, is called Ghetto Bass. And yes, you can purchase it. I'm going to put a link to where you can purchase it in the thread for this episode. And I just wanted to remind everybody that Twist is on the Play Me Records label, and one of the principals of Play Me Records is one of the 2 co-founders of Audeze, makers of the LCD2 headphones. Next question. Can you make the headfi TV episodes easier to find in the forums so that we don't have to look for them in Members Lounge? Yes, we're going to do that. We're going to have a dedicated forum area for headfi TV. But I also wanted to remind you that in the interim, and even after, we will have on the homepage, every time we do a new episode, a link to the new episode. So look for it on the homepage at www.headfi.org. Let's see. Will you be making headfi TV episodes available through iTunes? Yes, we will. I'm sorry that we haven't done that already, but we will do that soon. So once again, all the headfi TV episodes will be available through iTunes so that you can get them directly on your iPod, iPhone, iPad. Now, the last 2 questions in this Q&A have to do with the 2 headphones that we reviewed in episode 4, the Beyerdynamic DT1350 and the Sennheiser HD2512. And the first question is, are these headphones compromises, or are they actually as good as their full-sized closed counterparts? Sound quality-wise, I do think they're as good as most of their closed counterparts, even on the higher end of the scale. The compromise to me is really more about comfort than anything else. A lot of the full-size closed headphones are circumaural, and they go all the way around your ear, and they're just softer, more comfortable for long-term wear. With these portables, to me, one of the biggest compromises, because they sound so good, so one of the biggest compromises is really just comfort. You can't usually wear them as long. Most of you won't be able to wear them as long as some of the bigger full-sized headphones. Is the Beyer DT1350 just a cosmetic change over the Beyerdynamic T50P? Long story short, no, it is not just a cosmetic change. I have heard the T50P. This sounds nothing like the T50P I've ever heard. To me, it's a substantial improvement over the T50P that I've heard. Again, answer to the question, no, it is not just a cosmetic improvement. So that's the end of our very first headfi TV Q&A episode. If you want to submit your own questions, please send them to tv@headfi.org. Or if you want to, you can still post them on the forums, in the YouTube comments, or via private messaging. Thanks for watching headfi TV.